Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. I'm Sabha and today I will discuss with you the syllabus required for the EVS section of PSTR exam. Before we start, you should know one thing. This syllabus is not only for the students appearing for PSTR exam, it is also for the students who are going to appear for CTET paper 1 and Karnataka TET paper 1. So this video is useful for all of the students who are going to appear for these three exams. As we all know that the government has released 4,400 plus vacancies for the PSTR exam. So we must make the best use of it. This is a very good opportunity. Today, I will not only discuss the EVS syllabus with you, but I will also discuss some of the very important EVS topics for this exam. So let's begin. So first, let us discuss the exam pattern of the PSTR exam. So this exam has total of 150 MCQs, multiple choice questions. It has GK for 15 marks, child development pedagogy for 25 marks, language for 20 marks, general English for 25 marks, EVS for 20 marks, mathematics for 20 marks, and computer literacy for 25 marks. So there are a total of 150 MCQs in this question paper. Today we are concerned with the EVS part only. EVS part has 20 marks and it is heavy weightage as you can see. Now the marking scheme of this exam is you will get +1 mark for every correct answer and you will not get any negative mark if you get any answer wrong. That is, if you get anything wrong, you will be marked as 0 and no marks will be cut from the paper. So it is a very good opportunity. So before we discuss the important topics of the EVS section, let us first look into the general EVS syllabus for this exam. So before we discuss the syllabus for this exam, we should know one thing, that students from 1st standard to 5th standard have a general EVS subject or environmental science subject. Now this subject will have all biology, physics, chemistry, history and civics and geography subjects combined into one subject. Okay, so now we will study about these subjects as physics, chemistry, biology, history, civics, geography, like that. Okay, but we are actually studying for the EVS section of the exam. So under EVS section we have first the physics related topics. Like we have units and measurements, like there are 7 fundamental units, what are the symbols, how do you measure, okay. And then we have magnetism, like what are the different types of magnets, what is the meaning of a magnet, what are the properties, how do you use, okay. And then we have electricity, what is the meaning of electric current, different types, what are the differences. Then we have dynamics. Dynamics means motion related topics like linear motion, circular motion. Okay, all those related topics we have. And then we have gravitation. We know what gravity means, right? We have gravity related concepts. Then we have rockets and artificial satellites. Trust me, it is a very interesting topic. Okay. Then we have heat. What is heat? How do you measure heat? Like we measure heat by using temperature scales, right? So how do you measure it? What are the scales of measurement? What are the units of measurement? Then we have light. Then light means what is light? What are the properties of light? What are the phenomena and laws involved? Like we'll study about reflection, refraction, lens, mirrors and all that. For sound, we have sound waves and echo problems. Like echoes problems as in we will study few simple numerical problems for echoes, like that. Then we have electromagnetic radiation, like what is electromagnetic radiation, what are the examples, what are the properties and how do you use, what are the differences. Then we have energy. Energy we all know, right? There are different forms of energy, like we have potential energy, kinetic energy, what are the laws of conservation of energy, how is one energy converted from one form to the another form, like that. Then we have electronics. Simple electronics we'll study about simple conductors, insulators, semiconductors, what is the meaning and examples. And some small circuits, how do you form them, what are the symbols, that we'll study. Then we have radioactivity. Radioactivity, what is the meaning of radioactivity? What are the elements of the periodic table which show radioactivity? What is alpha decay, beta decay, gamma decay, all that. Then in modern physics, we have atoms. Like, we have atoms which have electrons and they have orbitals and shells. All that we'll study. And then we have universe. In universe, we have horizon, geocentric system, solar centric system. Basically, concepts related to the solar system. Okay. Next, we come to the chemistry part. Now, chemistry part will begin with structure of atom, like what are the atoms, what are atoms made up of, what are the theories involved in the atoms, and all those concepts. Then we have chemical bonds. Chemical bonds, we have electrovalent bond, covalent bond, hydrogen bond, metallic bond, and what all compounds these bonds will form. We'll look into that. Then we have chemical reactions. Like we have majorly oxidation reaction, displacement reaction, reduction reaction, all such different types of chemical reactions we'll study about. Then classification of elements. It is mostly related to the study of periodic table, like who all formed a periodic table, how they formed a periodic table, how do you place elements in the periodic table, that all we'll study. Then we have matter. Matter we all know, solid, liquid and gases. Okay. Then we have mixtures, solutions, all that we'll study about in matter. We have acid, bases and salts. What is the meaning? How do they react with each other? What is a strong acid or a strong base? What is a weak acid or a weak base? What is concentrated acid? What is diluted acid? A very simple concept. We'll study that. Then organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, like we all know, it is the study of carbon and its compounds, right? And then we have chemicals in our daily life. Like there are chemicals everywhere around us, right? Like we have chemicals in our soaps, chemicals in our detergent, chemicals in our toothpaste. There are chemicals around us everywhere. So how are we using chemicals in our day-to-day life? We'll study about that in this chapter. Then next we have the biology part. Now, biology part will have a living world. In living world, we will study about the characteristics of living organisms. Then we will have plants and animals, right? We'll differentiate organisms into plants, animals. Then what are the differences? Then what are the habitats? Where do they all live? And how do they all adapt? Things like that we'll study. And then for plants, we'll study what is photosynthesis, some small experiments related to photosynthesis. Then we'll study respiration, growth, reproduction, like asexual or sexual reproduction of plants. Okay. And then we have life processes in animals. Life processes in animals means including us. We are also animals, right? So what is the movement, respiration, circulation, digestion, growth, excretion, all that we'll study under life processes in animals. Then we have natural resources. In natural resources, what is the meaning, types, classification? Natural resources means air, water, soil, all that we'll study about. We'll also study about food. Food means what are the nutrients, what are the importance of those nutrients. We'll study about vitamins and minerals and what are the different types of foods like carbohydrates, fats and all that, proteins. We'll study about their importance. Then we'll also study about balanced diet. Then we have adulteration of food. Adulteration means you are making something impure by adding something fake or harmful. The best example is adulteration of milk. In milk, when some people sell, they'll add water to milk, or they'll also add chalk water or detergent to milk before selling it. So we'll study about it. So of course this has bad effects, right? So we'll study about those bad effects also. Then we have ecology. These topics are mostly related to the environment. Like in our environment, we have soil, air and water, no? So we'll study about those components. We'll study about soil erosion, pollution, then water, what is the concept of rainwater harvesting. Then we have greenhouse effect, what are global warming gases, that all comes under ecology. Ecosystem is also a part of ecology only. In ecosystem, we'll study about the living organisms also. Like how are we as human beings and how are animals around us a part of this environment. Like that we'll study, like food chain, food web, all that we'll study. Then cytology. In cytology means the study of cells. Okay. So in this we'll study about plant cell, animal cell, and what are the differences between plant cell and animal cells. We humans have organs, right? Similarly, the cells also have organs. They're known as cell organelles. So what are the functions of these cell organelles that we'll study? In classification of organisms, you have 5 kingdom classification, means you have kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, you have kingdom Monera, Protista, Mycota. We have microorganisms. Microorganisms, they can be of single cellular types and multicellular types. They are virus, bacteria, fungus, protozoa. They are sometimes good to us, like they are beneficial, or they are sometimes harmful to us, right? So we'll study about them. Then we'll study about evolution and theories of evolution. We say that humans have monkey ancestors. How did monkeys become humans? That all theories we'll study about in evolution and theories related to that. And then in plant kingdom again we have algae, fungi, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms, angiosperms. That all we'll study. And tissues, we have plants and animals both have tissues, right? So we'll study about the meaning of tissues, what are the types of tissues, and what is the function of those tissues. And in cytology again we'll study cell division, means how is cell dividing. That's how growth happens, right? Cells divide and growth happens. We'll study about that. Then we have genetics. Genetics means heredity, and all those concepts will come under it. As in, how are the characteristics from a parent passed down to their children. All the study related to that comes under genetics. We'll study about that under this topic. Then we have tissue culture. Tissue culture again, how cells differentiate or cells divide into tissues, right? And how that tissue culture is happening. That we'll study under that. And then we have genetically modified organisms and transgenic animals. Then we have biotechnology. Biotechnology is basically study related to how do you alter the DNA of the cell. Like if you want certain characteristics, like you want these features to be in your organisms. So how will you alter that DNA? How will you change that DNA? And that study is biotechnology. And then how do you use animal resources also? We'll talk about sericulture, aquaculture, dairy, poultry, vermiculture. Okay. So this is the entire syllabus for the EVS section of PSTR. I know it sounds like a lot of syllabus and it seems a little scary also. There are some heavy words which are very difficult to understand. So do not worry. I have some very important topics that we should discuss first for EVS part. Now from the topics that I will discuss next, the questions have been asked from these chapters, like in the PSTR 2015 question paper. That was the last time when PSTR was conducted. Questions were asked from those important chapters. Okay. Now these are the important topics and the questions were asked from these chapters in the previous 2015 question paper. Now, under the physics and chemistry part, like I said, EVS for small children, they will have everything: physics, chemistry, biology, history and civics, geography under one subject, EVS only, right? But we will separate them and study, so it's easier for us. So, under physics and chemistry, we had chapters like energy. Like what are the sources of energy, what are renewable and non-renewable. Like for renewable, we have sun energy, wind energy. Those are all renewable sources of energy. Non-renewable sources means we have petroleum, crude oil, fossil fuels. These are all non-renewable sources of energy. Then we have heat transfer. What is conduction, convection, radiation? Like how is heat going from one place to another? There are different methods. So that we'll study. Then we have light. Light means again that reflection, refraction, lens, mirror related topics. Then we have acid, bases and salts. And then we have simple metals and non-metal concepts. So these all topics were covered in the 2015 question paper of PSTR from physics and chemistry. So next we have biology. In biology we have the living world, classification of plants, animals and adaptations, like hydrophytes, xerophytes, epiphytes. Like many a times animals and plants exist in very extreme conditions, like very hot conditions or very cold conditions. So how do they adapt to such extreme conditions? that we'll learn about in this chapter. Then we have human body and health. For example, we have skeletal system, like study of bones and what are the joints, that all we'll study. And then in circulatory system, we'll study about how is blood circulated in our body, and what are the components of the blood, like what is the blood made up of, and the most important organ necessary for circulation in our body, which is heart. We'll study about heart and its structure. Then we have food, nutrition, right? So what are the important vitamins and minerals which are necessary for a normal function in our body? And what happens if there is a deficiency, if they are less, or if they're extremely more present in our body? Then we have diseases. In diseases, we have simple topic, communicable versus non-communicable diseases. So communicable disease means if you touch a sick person who has a communicable disease, you will fall sick. Best example is cough or cold, flu, normal flu we have, no? That is a communicable disease. Non-communicable disease means if a person is sick with a non-communicable disease, if you touch that person or come in contact with that person, you will not fall sick. Best example is cancer. Such simple topics we'll cover under diseases. Then we have plants. In plants, we have the most basic concept, photosynthesis, right? How is a plant preparing its own food? So we'll study about photosynthesis. And then plants have flowers and leaves, right? So we'll study about the parts of a flower, the types of leaves on the plant and trees, and what are the structures of those leaves. And we'll also study about pollination, okay? That's how reproduction occurs in plants. We'll study about that. This is the biological science or the biology part of the EVS syllabus. Next, we have the ecology part. Now, ecology, ecosystem, these are all one concept only, okay? Under this, we'll study about the natural resources again. Water, air, soil, what are the types, how are they distributed, all that we'll study under natural resources. Then we have ecosystems. In ecosystems, we have food webs, food chains, biodiversity, as in what are the different types of plants and animals present on earth, that we'll study about. Then we have pollution. Pollution means what is pollution? What are the causes of air, water and soil pollution? What is global warming? What is greenhouse effects? We'll study about all that under pollution. Now this was the entire science part of the EVS syllabus. Now we'll look into the history and heritage part, means history and civics and geography part of the EVS syllabus. Okay. So not many questions were asked, but yes, a couple of questions were asked, and even single mark is important for us. We should not take a risk and study a little bit about these also. We will not study a lot, just basic concepts required. Okay. So under history and heritage, we'll study about the ancient Karnataka dynasties like Kadambas, Rashtrakutas, Gangas, Chalukyas, and we'll study about the Mauryan Empire, a little about Vijayanagara Empire, Krishna Devaraya, right? We'll study about his empire. And then for the major Karnataka geography, we'll study about the major important rivers of Karnataka. What are the highest peaks or mountains of Karnataka? And what are the major dams? Major dam is the TB dam, right? It's like Tungabhadra dam. So we'll know what is the importance of that dam. Okay. And a little few points about it. So this is the entire EVS syllabus for the PSTR exam, CTET paper 1 and Karnataka TET paper 1. Every one of you preparing for these exams can rely on this EVS syllabus. You can consider this syllabus and you can proceed with your preparation for these exams. Alright. I really hope you loved this video. You can stay in touch with us. Okay. You can join us on our Telegram channel and on our Telegram group. And the links for these channel and group are given in the description box below. You can also interact with us in the Telegram group. You can ask us questions and we will do our best to give you the best answers, best solutions. Okay. You can also contact to join Hstr, Gpstr, CRIS and TET classes. You can email Atahar ma'am at athartetthstr@gmail.com and you can WhatsApp message only on the given phone number. I really hope you loved this video. If you loved our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. And please let us know if you want us to make more classes for EVS part of the PSTR, because we want to create videos which you want. We want to help you with the exams. So please let us know if you want us to make more videos for PSTR EVS, and we will do our best to give you the best content for studying for your exams. Alright. I hope you prepare well for the exams. Wish you all the very best. Bye bye. See you in the next class.